Hello everyone and welcome to another video. So very rarely manufacturers would completely overhaul the design of their existing lineup, which is doing so well, and launch them again. But Hyundai has been bold enough and they have recently launched the 2021 Creta, and this car is a turbo version. So in today's video, let's find out everything in detail about this car. But before we move forward, please consider subscribing to my channel by clicking that subscription button and make sure to press that bell icon and leave all the notifications on so that you never miss any of these video updates from my channel. And also, while you're here, check out my Instagram profile, head over there, give me a follow and follow all the behind the scenes updates of all the cars that I get. So the particular model that I'm reviewing is the Hyundai Creta 1.4 liter turbo. So before we move forward, let me apologize for the car being so dirty because we've had 2 days of back-to-back sandstorms, rain, so yeah, which is why the car looks a little shabby. But let's start from the front. So you get this big grill out here, but then most of it is just normal plastic, so yeah, that's something. And there's also a chrome surround which is a little darker than the usual chrome that you get, shiny one. So yeah, that's around the grill. And then there's another strip out here, there's Hyundai badging, and there are these fake vents on top, like 2 of these between the 2 vents. Yeah, that's also something. And at the bottom you would find the normal plastic again, goes from one end to the other. And out here at the bottom you would find the halogen fog lamps and the turn signals which are inside it. Now there are also a couple of slots on both the sides on the edge, and I'm happy to report that those are the real slots and not the fake ones. And out here you would see this headlight design which is really inspired from the Hyundai Palisade. So you can click on the pop-up banner out here and you can watch the detailed review of the Hyundai Palisade that I did recently. So this headlight cluster has like 3 different lights out here, and on top you would find the DRS which continue from top and to the bottom, and in the center on the edge you would find these 3 LED lights. So yeah, they made sure like even if the bumper was hampering the light, there was a light which was put in between. So yeah, quite a bit of thought has gone on, and you get a completely redesigned bonnet out here with more creases and to make it look more muscular. So this Hyundai Creta comes with 2-tone body color options. So the base one is the lava orange and the top one is the gloss black. And on this same top spec version you also get the 17-inch alloy rims. And notice this again, plastic skirtings on the sides, even at the bottom. So these are just the normal plastic, and all this is given so that you can protect your fender, and also at the bottom the doors and everything. And there is also a normal black surround around these windows and more plastic black roof rails out here. So yeah, notice how much of plastic has been used on this car, and also there's lots more to go inside in the interior also. And then this side mirror is a power foldable, this is power adjustable, but it does not have the blind spot warning inside it. And also at the bottom there is just normal plastic. And these door handles are chromed door handles, and they are keyless entry door handles. And also notice how these doors and the frame have a gap, so it's not actually a gap, but then this plastic trim extends from the side. So whenever you're going to come in and out of it, you're probably going to be like touching the frame when you come out, and you're going to be dirtying your pants. So the rear end is something where a lot is going on in terms of the design and in terms of the bits that have been added, because this is a completely redesigned car, so which is why you have a new front and back end. So let me start off with these tail lights. This is an LED tail light cluster, not actually completely LED, but it's a mixture of halogen and LED. So you also get the brake in between out here, something similar to what you saw in the headlights, and there is a small piece of light out here. So yeah, that's one thing. So it's been split up and made to look like a huge one out here. And then you see this black glossy plastic trim which goes from one end to the other, and in the center there is a huge brake light. So usually brake lights are mounted out here on the spoiler, the small one which has been given, but instead Hyundai has decided to give it just about the Hyundai logo, and there is this Hyundai badging. And then there are these thick lines out here which make it like more crease, lots of crease out here, and also it gives that an angular shape from the back. So there are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like endless bit of lines out here. And at the bottom you would find this rather normal plastic bumper with these slotted design, like horizontal ones, and actually this actually looks quite a big chunk in the back. I don't know, let me know in the comment section below what do you think of this rear end, because there is quite a bit of things which are going on, which is what I found. So yeah, this plastic bumper out here, and then there are fog lamps at the bottom. On the right side you would find the twin exhaust tips, and when it comes to the visibility, it's actually pretty decent, and you still find a bit of the pillar hindering your visibility, the rear end pillars, but it's still all right because it's not going to be much of a bother, because you can see like good 2 to 3 lanes from your rear view mirror. And there are these Creta badging out here, and also the 1.4T, which is for the turbocharged. Now when it comes to the boot space, so you have to actually lift the tailgate because it won't do it on its own. So in the back, in this current setting, when the rear seats are upright, you can put 433 liters of luggage in the back, and there's also not much of a lip. Actually there's nothing, no lip at all. There are these scuff plates to protect your plastic bumper. Yeah. At the bottom you would find a spare wheel which has been given, and it's just easy to lift the boot floor. And this also boot separator can be removed. It's just very easy, like 2 threads, and then you can just remove it. But the problem is that there's no dedicated slot or anything for this boot separator, so you either have to put it out here, or it is going to consume the space, or you have to put it in the rear seats. Now when it comes to the rear seats, when I fold them down, you can actually fold them from either here or from the front, like it depends from which side you want to fold them. So when I do that, oh, there's my bag, let me just, yeah, so when I do that, you can see there is quite a bit of flat space that you get, so there is not much of a step, and then you can just shove that boot separator in the back, and then you can use this huge space out here. And also there are not many arches out here, wheel arches that you see. There are also a couple of smaller storage on the sides, and then one of the speakers from the Bose music system. Since there is no slot between the seat and the boot, and also there is no lip, so you can easily lift your luggage and slide that in, and also easily kind of remove it from the boot. So I mentioned that a lot of plastic has been used on this Hyundai Creta, and even on the interiors the story remains the same, because you get pretty much this entire dashboard made out of plastic. The door cards are made out of plastic, and out here on the sides all of it is plastic. But what is even more surprising is that they have even made the stitching in plastic. So in order to continue with that design on the dashboard, yeah, they've given the stitching out here. And you also get these red accents around these air conditioning vents, and then this sort of weirdly speaker design on top, the cover for it, like I don't know, yeah, it's just more of those things on even on the doors, on out on the sides, on the door cards. And out here you would find the normal plastic which I had mentioned. So this plastic actually, check this out, yeah, it actually squeals and squeaks at whichever place that you touch. Yeah, I mean, yeah, even while you're driving, there are certain bits of plastic which will actually squeak around, like from the door cards, and also this same very center console out here. So when I hit my leg, yeah, it's again making that noise. So when it comes to the multi-information display, you get a 7-inch display in the center and couple of dials on both the sides. But then yeah, this information display is a very differently styled for some reason, because it's quite unusual, and the screen is just in the center like a 7-inch, and then yeah, on that there is just the speedometer, and in between in the center you can see a lot of information, like if you want to see your speedometer, your fuel economy, your accumulated info, and all of that driving stuff. And then you can change to see the tire pressure, and then more detailed settings, and then in which you can change the light, door, sound, convenience, all of the other features. So yeah, in terms of the screen, it's a very simplified screen, but yeah, I am not really impressed that way with the graphics, or the presentation of this entire the driver's information that you see. And when it comes to the steering wheel, this is a flat bottom leather covered steering wheel with some real red color stitching on it, and the steering wheel has this 4-spoke design which has been given. Again, this is very similar to the Hyundai Sonata, the Palisade. You can click on the pop-up banner out here and you can watch an in-depth review video of the Hyundai Sonata, which I recently did. Yeah, so head over there and watch that. And there are also these plastic paddle shifters given out here, which are again silver color. And on the right side you would find the controls to change the display information on your driver's screen, and this cruise control is a standard cruise control. And on the left side you would find controls for your communication and the infotainment. And this steering wheel is tilt and telescopic, so you can adjust both and find the right position for you. And when it comes to the air conditioning controls, again straightforward single zone air conditioning system which has been given, and there are dials on both the sides for your fan speed and also the temperature control, and simple straightforward buttons to switch it on and off and change the direction of flow of air. And when it comes to the infotainment system, this infotainment system is an 8-inch colorful display which you get, and there are buttons on both the sides, physical buttons for your radio, media and favorite, and then the track and the setup, and more dials on both the sides at the bottom for your volume and the different menu options that you want to choose from. When you come to this actual infotainment screen, there are 2 widgets on your home screen for your media and time, which you can customize from the menu option given on top, and then you can change whatever you want to see on your home screen. And at the bottom there are more options for your menu, phone, media and the settings. So these are like the shortcut buttons, and then when you go into all menus you would find more in-depth all the options to explore. And it's actually a very simplified system from what the Hyundai's usual infotainment system is. So it's a little scaled down on this car. And also when I saw the graphics on this one, it's not really very crisp is what I found, because I have seen some of the amazing screens that Hyundai usually gives, but on this one, yeah, it's a little less in terms of the pixel density, which is what I found. So in terms of the connectivity options, you can connect to this infotainment system using the Android Auto, the Apple Carplay. There's also Bluetooth, and there is also the USB with which you can connect to this infotainment system. And the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay can be used using the wire and not the wireless system. And also you are going to be connected to either the Android Auto or the Apple CarPlay, so you can use the Google Maps from that and use the navigation system on this screen. There's an in-depth setting options in which you can change pretty much everything from your sound, vehicle display, button, general and the device connection. When it comes to the music system, you get 8-speaker Bose music system on this one, and the speakers are all over scattered in the car, on your door cards out here and even in the back. Now when it comes to the storage, you can put like 1 liter worth of bottle in the door cards and some more smaller storage on the sides in both the front doors. And there is also this glove box out here, which is again made out of plastic. It's pretty decently sized, and there are also 2 cup holders, but these are just the standard cup holders, they are not the flexible ones. There is also a center armrest in which there is a bit of storage, like 2 half a liter worth of bottles that you can put. Again, this center armrest is made out of like soft touch materials, thank God, because wherever you're going to be resting your hands, they made sure, yeah, that is at least soft touch plastic and real red color stitching on it. There is also a slot given out here which is also for your phone storage, and also it's a wireless charging pad that you can use. The other storage are in the rear door cards, in which you can put half a liter water bottle and a little more storage, and there are also 2 cup holders in the armrest. Now when it comes to the charging, you get 2 USB plugs in the front. One is a dedicated charging plug and one is the USB plug to connect to this infotainment system. There is also 12 volt 180 watt power socket given out here, and another USB port which has been given for the rear passenger, and also there is a slot in which you can actually put your phone, so yeah, the phone can rest while it is charging. But yeah, pretty much 3 USB ports which are like the standard ports. On this Hyundai Creta you get a panoramic sunroof, which actually is pretty huge for this particular small crossover SUV. So Yeah, and it opens quite big too, like it opens all the way till the center. Now when it comes to these seats, these are black color perforated leather seats, and let me come straight to the point because these are super comfortable seats is what I found. I actually loved the seats on this Hyundai Creta because they are pretty comfortable during the longer journeys, and they offer ample of support, and also they have this side shoulder, so gives you additional bit of support. They also have this red color piping on it, and also a little bit of quilting in the center, like a design for the on the backrest. And the seats on the driver side is 8-way electronically adjustable, while for the passenger side is just manually adjustable. But yeah, seats are something which are so important on a day-to-day basis, and Hyundai has made sure that they have given the comfortable ones. And also these are cooled seats, so the controls are given out here in the center console, and easy, like just press them and then you can activate the cooling seat option. Now there is also a drive selector dial which has been given in this center tunnel, and in terms of the driving modes, you get 3 different modes, which are your comfort, eco and the sport mode. And there are also 3 traction modes that you can choose from, which is the mud, the sand and also the snow. Now in the rear you get black color perforated leather seats, but these are just perforated seats, but they don't do any cooling or anything. It's just to maintain the design which is carry forward from the front seats. And there is also the quilting design on the backrest, and there is also red color piping on the bordering these seats. And these seats are actually quite raised up that way to give you good amount of visibility all around. And I like the position of these seats, and also you can make out from the angle that you see, the knees are not that bent, and they have a bit of support, although a little bit in the front side they are a little hanging. And you can also slide your feet under the seat to stretch your legs during the longer journeys actually, and you get decent amount of knee room and also fair bit of headroom, although someone above 6 feet may start brushing their head against the ceiling. And there's not much of a tunnel out here in the center, since this is a front wheel drive car. So when I sit in the center, there is a bit of a hump in the back, but not much in the bottom, so you can easily someone can sit in the middle, so 3 people can sit. Although for the longer journeys, yeah, I wouldn't say that it's going to be the most comfortable. And there are 2 air conditioning vents which are given again with this red bordering. When it comes to these door cards, these are like the plastic door cards, lots of them, and then on the sides they've just given a patch of soft touch leather covered piece, so you can rest your hand. Now there is a slot which has been given to open and close the door, but that slot actually comes in your way when you are going to be resting your hands, because which is what I found most of the times my hand just goes into that slot, because the handrest which has been given is a little further back, and there are also sun blinders on both the rear door cards. But overall there is decent amount of rear space that you would find in the new Hyundai Creta. So this Hyundai Creta is powered by a 1.4 liter turbocharged GDI petrol engine that is mated to a 7-speed DCT transmission. Now this is for the first time that this gearbox and engine has been introduced on this Hyundai Creta. So yeah, that is where things are more to be discussed, and the power is delivered through the front wheels. Now the engine is pretty responsive that way, and it's got good amount of torque, because obviously there's a turbocharged. But the thing is, the turbo kicks in only after like around 1800 rpm, 2000, when there is like an inevitable turbo kick that you get. But before that, the engine sounds a little dull when accelerating, because let's be honest, it's a 1.4 liter, so it's just doing its job while the turbos are spooling up and then give you that rich boost of torque and power. But till then, yeah, it's a little on the kind of slower side. Like, let me demonstrate. There's also a lot of noise while it tries to do that. And the gearbox on that side, the 7-speed gearbox, is pretty alright, and the shifts are pretty crisp, they are pretty smooth, and yeah, for everyday use it's pretty alright. And with this engine and gearbox combination, you get a fuel economy of anywhere between 13 kilometers per liter to 14 kilometers on a longer run. So yeah, I mean, that is pretty impressive for this car, and it comes with 50 liters of fuel tank, so you get a good range of about 550 to maybe 600 but yeah, 500 to 550 is the realistic range that you will get from this car. Now the thing is, when we discuss about the engine and the gearbox, it's got a lot of vibrations which I feel from the seat when I am accelerating. Like, there's lots of that, especially the engine, which makes a lot of grumbling noise, and especially the noise levels inside this cabin. Yeah, there is quite a bit of wind whooshing from around these windows, and also from the front side there's a bit of tire noise that you will hear, and also the engine which I mentioned. So engine, yeah, because it's a 1.4 liter turbocharged engine, it gets a little stressed out too easily. Although there are also special modes, driving modes, which are given, the eco and the sport. Let me put it in the sport and show you. So when I put it in the sport, the engine response, it becomes more alive. Everything becomes sharp, the throttle response and everything, and it tries to maintain the RPM at a higher RPM to change the gears. But yeah, at the same time it results in a lot of noise. So I think, yeah, I'll just go back to the comfort mode instead, so where things are quiet. So let's discuss with the steering. It's kind of responsive, but though it lacks that feedback, which is what I found. Like, it still misses that connection between the road and the steering wheel. So I know for a fact, and also it's kind of very wobbly when you go at higher speeds of beyond 120, and especially today when it's a windy day and the wind is hitting from my left side, and I can actually feel the car, which is why you can even see me correcting. So yeah, that's kind of very, yeah, all over the place sometimes. Now when it comes to the suspensions are on the softer side, but still the ride quality is super comfortable, and especially with the seats and the softer suspension, yeah, you really cannot feel a lot of jerk or anything from the road surface. And also what they've done very well is that there is no roll or anything in the car, which is what is surprising, because those anti-roll bars are doing their job quite well. Because you put this in the corner, or at least let me just show you like a slalom by doing that. So it's very composed and calm. So it's pretty decent that way, when it comes to the suspension setup that you get, because it's more on the comfort side, and which is what this is targeted towards, the family. So it's more daily usable that way. Now when it comes to the brakes, you get 4 disc brakes on this top end version. Otherwise you get 2 disc brakes and 2 drum brakes in the rear in the base version. But when it comes to the braking action, let me do an emergency brake test. And you also get the emergency stop signal. Now the thing is, the brake pedal, though brakes are really good, but the brake pedals has that sort of travel where it's very bitey immediately once you start pressing the throttle. So you don't get that much of travel, so very short travel and the brakes start to bite, which is what, yeah, you have to really kind of get used to that, how the brake pedal works. Now when it comes to the vibrations inside this car, it's just that there is a bit of rattling which you will hear, which I mentioned, from the plastic, from the door cards, and out here whenever I'm hitting my leg against this center tunnel, which is where it is making a lot of that plastic creaky noise. So yeah, that's just the few things which are to be mentioned about. When it comes to the safety system, this Hyundai Creta comes with 6 airbags, 2 for the front driver and the passenger, 2 side airbags for the driver and the passenger, 2 curtain airbags, and also there is child isofix points in both the rear seats, but that child isofix points is a little bit tucked inside the seat, so you have to find your way where that child isofix point are. And there is also a single camera reversing system. I am pretty satisfied with the output from that camera system, because let's be honest, it's a budget car and it's a budget crossover, and on that it's still a very good, because I'm impressed by what Hyundai usually gives in terms of the camera systems, the reversing camera, and even the screen on that output is fine. It's not choppy, it's not grainy, and it's pretty crisp and it's pretty smooth. So yeah, for me that job is done and it's all right. And In terms of the other safety systems, you get the ABS, you also get the traction control system, there is also the hill start assist. Now when it comes to the price, this Hyundai Creta is priced somewhere around 76,000 dirhams. It's just approximate because based on the spec the prices can vary. So yeah, 76,000 dirhams, and for that the product that you get from the outside, yes, it's quite a design, it's an affordable car, and also it's pretty loaded that way in terms of the tech, in terms of the comfort level. But it's just that what this car misses is an all-wheel drive system, which is, yeah, if that was offered, then I think the price is pretty justified. And also the bit of work on the interior side, because let's be honest, there is quite a bit of plastic that has been used. So yeah, if they start giving a little bit of more soft touch plastics around, and a little bit of focus on the quality, then yeah, every single penny after that is justifiable. But for now, this package as it is pretty comfortable. It's worth trying out, and it's a good family car for 5 people. Anyways, that is pretty much it for this video. Give this video a thumbs up, and if you want to subscribe to my channel, then click here, and if you want to watch more videos, then click here. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching this video. Bye bye, take care and stay safe.